Hello everyone, it is Metroid time again. Metroid Fusion, in fact. It's like, oh, what is that? Ooh, we have a friend online. Kind of wonder who it is, but, nah. I'm sure they don't want me to intrude on their privacy. Alright, we got Triforce in the chat. Came here early. Can't wait to see how far you got. Yeah, I don't... Oh, wait, no. Okay. Right game. Levon is here. Gonna do a mod video on your next project on your channel. And I'm so glad you're playing one of my favorites. Yeah. I've been playing this for a little while now. Well, as you can see, this is part 3. And, as you can see, we have the Mega Buster gun, whatever the hell it's called. I just call it the Mega Buster, and we've already died. Victory Leo, man, how are you? Been a little while since, I was gonna say, have you ever been in my chat? Clearly you have, because I wrenched you. I've definitely seen, like, I know I've seen you in, like, other people's chats. I just didn't remember if you were in mine or not. Again, clearly you were. Triforce is back. Karumi, goddamn. Fucking everyone. You've been playing Resident Evil 0. You got it last year on the Wii. Cool. For 20 days now, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. She is getting better? Okay, that's good to hear. Can't remember what direction to go. Hopefully, wait, was there something? Oh no, there was just another. You're gonna do a mod for the Okay, confession time. I have literally never seen a Game Boy. So I've played on an Atari. I've owned an Atari Lynx before. I've technically owned a Sega Game Gear, even though it was so broken that it was essentially useless. But and like, I don't mean just like the sound process. I've actually owned 2 Game Gears that were just beyond repair. I have never used or owned or even really held in my hands an original DMG Game Boy. I used to have a Game Boy Color, and I still... No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I still own my Game Boy Advance SP. No, I gave that to Tyler's wife, and she's enjoying that now. She'll probably eventually get like the Game Boy Pokemon games that she played as a kid. Hey, Sir Jacob. But yeah, I've never actually seen, played, or even held... Well, no, I have seen. I've never held or played an original Game Boy. I've also never played an original or held an original DS. Recliner chair so she won't be laying in bed. Cool. Liked and shared. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Always appreciated. Always appreciated. Pokemon Clover? Is that even a real no, that's not a real Pokemon game. Why has that not been a Pokemon game? Like, they must have ran out of, like, different materials and herbs or whatever. How did you get it into it? Recliner? Well, like, don't recliners usually come, like, disassembled? Like, recliners shouldn't be hard to get into your house. They're still heavy, because, like, all the parts are still there, but, like... It should at least, like, fit in a house, and then you just have to, like, assemble it once you get it inside your house, right? Or is it... one of those, like, recline... I don't know. Every recliner I've ever owned has come, like, disassembled. It was from a thrift store. Oh, I see. I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. Then yeah, that would complicate matters, I would imagine. Well, like, some thrift stores might have, like... No, never mind. I was gonna say some thrift stores might have movers. I'm guessing if it's like a Goodwill or something, they wouldn't give enough of shit about you to do that. Oh, he did get someone to hell. Okay, cool. That works. What's your favorite soda? Oh. You gotta make me choose that, man. You know what? I'm gonna give a really fucking basic-ass, vanilla-ass answer. I'm gonna say Diet Pepsi. Here's the thing, though. I usually drink Diet Coke, because that's just kind of easier to get for whatever reason where I'm from. And I think that's more why I prefer Diet Pepsi. That, and I think it just has, like, kind of a sweeter, like, better taste. Same with, like, regular Pepsi versus regular Coke, too. I've kind of flip-flopped. I've had, like, points in my life to where, like, yeah, they taste the same, or... And I guess for most people, Coke and Pepsi are basically the same, but, like, if you're a connoisseur, you kind of, get to know, like, the differences. So, I'm gonna say, like, either, like... I'm probably gonna say, like, Diet Pepsi is my answer. Barks? I don't know what that is. What's that? Is that a type of soda? Manzana, Sol, and Arizona. Are these types of sodas? Because I've never fucking heard of any of these. The chair belonged to your mom's friends. Okay. Oh my god. Oh. I was confused. I see. So, Leo and Karumi were talking about two totally different chairs. Okay. You should know creates chlorine gas. You're perfect. Yeah, okay, whatever. You'll buy Leo a Nagi theme? No! Don't do that! Get that for LCX, not Leo. Okay, I wanted to lose. You know something? Actually, you know a soda that I like that is, like, surprisingly really rare where I'm from? White birch beer. I don't know if that's more common in, like, other areas of the country or other areas of the world. But, like, white birch beer, you can only get it occasionally. And usually it's, like, some restaurant that's, like, out in, like, the more rural parts of Pennsylvania has white birch beer. And like, white birch beer has a totally different taste to just regular birch beer, which I also really like and is also semi-rare where I am. Basically, if you've never... Well, I'm sure, like, you've all had birch beer, but basically it's like root beer, but like just better in every way. Sweeter, has a more rich taste. Yeah. Like, look, I'll never open a Patreon. I'll never do that. But if you guys want to support me, just, like, send, like, crates of white birch beer to my house. Okay, so it's not really safe to go down there. You don't think Kentucky has that? Oh man, that sucks. Lorenzo, man, how are you? Have you ever read any of this? I read all of them as a kid. Also, I am going to give a very very hot take right now. The Jim Carrey movie, I think, is better than a Netflix series. And I basically will freely admit that is entirely nostalgia talking, because I grew up, obviously, with the Jim Carrey movie. I think Jim Carrey, I mean, he puts in a very Jim Carrey performance, so it depends how much you can tolerate Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. But if you can do that, then you have a pretty enjoyable little film on your hands. Jim Carrey is very much an acquired taste, even for the actors who have played with him, but if you can get past Jim Carrey's Jim Carreyness, series of unfortunate events, I've heard a lot of people try to shame that movie. It's not that bad, guys. You like Jim Carrey on In Living Color? Yeah! I mean, that's true. He was, I think even, like, I think even the most, like, vehement Jim Carrey haters, they will usually be like, okay, but I liked him in Living Color. I liked Fire Marshal Bill. You know, like, even if you really vehemently hate Jim Carrey, you at least like Fire Marshal Bill. I will say one Jim Carrey movie I absolutely hated as a kid, but I grew to appreciate a lot more as an adult. Liar, Liar. I kind of grew to appreciate, and also if you see like the Legal Eagle video on Liar, Liar, you kind of appreciate like the weird attention to detail they had for like researching California law and getting it surprisingly accurate for, you know, something like that. Jim Carrey, yeah, very versatile. I would say, like Jim Carrey, now that Robin Williams is, you know, long gone, Jim Carrey... Well, I say that, but then Jim Carrey, I think, is now retired from acting, too. I think he said Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was going to be his last movie. Truman Show. I've still never seen the Truman Show. Yeah, Fire Marshal Bill. Let me show you something! Look, here's the thing. If you can do the exact same skit like 10 times and it's still funny, then you have a good skit. Like, there are some SNL skits that kind of try to do that and just can't really recapture the magic. Like everybody's seen, like, the Chris Farley, I live in a van down by the river! Not many people know they actually, like, after that, tried to do it, like, 3 or 4 times, and it just wasn't as good. Meanwhile, you have Celebrity Jeopardy, where they basically just did the entire same shtick, like, 15 times, and it was arguably funnier each time. I mean, especially when Norm Macdonald was playing Burt Reynolds. I've said before, Burt Reynolds is just like my comedy guru, pretty much. I don't think I would say he's probably one of my favorite comedians. I would say, like, in terms of, like, non-stand-up comedians, or, like, comedians that don't, like, put stand-up first and foremost. Norm Macdonald, he was a stand-up comedian, but it wasn't, like, you know what I mean? He was more known for, like, acting and, like, SNL and things like that. As far as stand-up comedians go, Bill Hicks. If you've never seen Bill Hicks, imagine George Carlin, but arguably better. And that is, I realize, especially in the comedy world, that's really high praise, but I think he deserved it. He also died way too young. Granted, he kind of treated his body like shit, but still. Bill hit Rip Burt Reynolds as well. Yeah, the actual Burt Reynolds is dead too. I used to like Dennis Leary till I realized... Really? The only thing I've ever seen... The only thing I've ever actually seen from Dennis Leary was, there was, like, a Philips CDI disc. And the Retro Pals covered it. There was a Philips CDI disc that had, like, these quote-unquote jokes that he did of, like, current events, and it was just, like... They were barely even jokes. I imagine if you want, like, the peak Dennis Miller experience, you don't search for him on a CDI disc. But, yeah. LCX, man, how are you? LCX is my favorite comedian, actually. Better than Norm Macdonald, better than Bill Hicks. He, always says his trademark catchphrase, "What the fudge is this?" Or goes on, like, 15-minute rants about Mobile Legends. Always a hoot. Yes, rest in peace, Norm. You don't like current SNL? You know what? I will slightly defend current SNL. First of all, people complain it's too political. It was always political. Like, literally always. Like, I think literally one of the very first moments of SNL was Chevy Chase playing Gerald Ford being a bumbling buffoon. But, the other thing, too, is, like, Michael Che is fucking hilarious. Michael Che is, like, is just the best thing that has happened to SNL in a long time. And if you look at, Seth Meyers, like, in his current show, Seth Meyers is just, he's not even... When you can't even tell what the joke is, that's when you fucked up as a comedian. And, like, Seth Meyers has just... It feels tame to you. I don't know. I'd say, generally speaking, yes, but, you can look at YouTube and see side-by-side comparisons of Dennis Leary and Bill Hicks. Oh, man. I think one of my favorite conspiracy theories is, there are people who swear up and down that Alex Jones is actually... So Bill Hicks died sometime in the 90s, like 94 or whatever. And then immediately after that, Alex Jones started his show. And there are people who swear up and down, like totally legit, that Alex Jones is actually Bill Hicks who faked his death and then, like, recast himself as this over-the-top right-wing conspiracy theorist. Which, if true, that would be the greatest fucking troll move ever. Like, Andy Kaufman was like, fuck, I wish I would have thought of that. But... No, like, I guess that's kind of what happens, too. Like, when your audience is, like, that into conspiracy shit, it's only a matter of time before the crazies, the inmates, take over the asylum, you know? Sometimes you gotta, like, look into, like, conspiracy theories that are just, like, they aren't, like, harmful. Sometimes they're just fun. Like the conspiracy theory about Stevie Wonder faking his blindness for 70 years. And then there's like the story Elton John told on one of the late night shows. I can't remember which one. I think it was like Colbert. Of like Stevie Wonder going to Elton John's lodge and like stealing his snowmobile. Zombies here too, man. But I wouldn't say he was left or right. Yeah, he was. You know, I say this about myself, and I think Bill Hicks is kind of the same way. We just fight for the party of common sense. He did have, like, an impression that was, like, dead on what Alex Jones would do, though. I'll say that. You can, like, look up videos of, like, Bill Hicks Bill Hicks and Alex Jones or something. Just, like, type in Bill Hicks, Alex Jones. It's gotten to a point where Alex Jones has actually acknowledged those, theories, and obviously denies them, how conspiracy theories work. That's what I'm saying, is, like, conspiracy theories need to go back to just being, like, stupid shit that people, like, stupid shit that's ultimately harmless. Like, they all have to be, like, anti-Semitic now, or, like, deeply troubling. Carlin was similar, yeah. I love Carlin, but I think there are so many people who try to, like... Carlin has, ironically, because, like, Carlin was, like, a famous atheist, Carlin has almost become, like, a religious figure in some circles. People try to be like, oh, Carlin would have never agreed with, this, and this, and it's just like, no, he actually probably would have. Like, you can find quotes of Carlin where he's, like, a lot more left-leaning than I think a lot of people want to say, but also, like, more right-leaning than some people might want to say. Like, that's the thing, again, like, Carlin was a complex man, and he doesn't fit neatly into one bubble. That was what made him so good, and so many people kind of, like, try to revisionist history, like, what Carlin would have thought about this particular issue going on years after he died. Alex Jones became popular criticizing George W. It was yeah, actually, that is a good point. And in fact, like, even when he kind of, like, he was, like, when he kind of started, he was, like, really popular with the left, actually, because, like, even when he was doing gun control, like, that's the thing, like, I think a lot of people don't understand about the left, is that we aren't anti-gun. Like, I would actually say, like, we need less gun control, is my personal opinion. That's not necessarily, like, the popular opinion, but it's mine. And I always say that it's not for, like, any sort of freedom thing. It's more just, like, I'm anti-black market, and the more you regulate things, the more things become harder to regulate. So I think the solution is ultimately get to the heart of the matter, which is guns are cool, and we need to find a way to make guns less cool. And if we can do that, then we solve the gun crisis. That's going to be difficult to do because guns are really fucking cool, and there's a lot of people who think that way, but that's how it's, that's kind of, I think, what the mission should be. Because, again, I think it is more of a cultural issue. And I think even most leftists will concede to that. Exactly. Every time there's a proposed regulation, sales increase. I don't know if, like... Well, I don't know if that really means anything other than gun nuts are paranoid freaks, but, I think that the more you regulate a thing, the more likely it is to get on the black market. And if something goes on the black market, we know what happens with drugs. We know what happened with alcohol in the 1920s. It's not going to make the problem better, it's going to make the problem worse. We're going to have the same gun problems we always had, except now we're going to have a black market for it, and a black market with guns is going to be a pretty fucking violent black market, I think. Exactly. Prohibition has never worked in the U.S. It's never worked anywhere. Like, even in the most, no, I don't want to say communist, because that's, communists and authoritarian aren't necessarily intertwined, but, I mean, they have historically been, but whatever. Even in the most authoritarian, like, USSR, China, where they, like, you know, you aren't allowed to, you can't be religious because there's only one religion allowed here, and it's religion of the government. Even in those places, if you're smart, you know how to bypass those rules. Like, there were Bibles in Soviet Russia. There was Western influence in Soviet Russia. They had, the way that a lot of Russian people were able to listen to music that was not allowed by the state was they actually had what were called bone discs. Or also known as TV discs, because basically what it was they had X-rays, and you can buy these. You can buy it. They're kind of rare, but you can buy these on eBay. They had X-rays that, like, doctors and hospitals, they would throw out, and then these bootleggers would get these, etch, like, the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or Elvis or something like that into these X-ray bone discs. And, that's how a lot of... I need to, like, actually wait for them to not do that. But that's how a lot of Soviet kids were able to listen to music. And there was even an underground punk scene in Russia with varying degrees of... but, like, even at its worst, at its most regulated, they were still able to play. And that's what I'm saying, is, like, it doesn't matter how hard you regulate something, the problem isn't going to go away. And in fact, if anything, it's just going to manifest and get worse. We've seen that time and time again throughout history. And that's not me advocating for anarchy. Like, rules will limit a problem sometimes. But when the problem is... But when the solution is, you have to think like we do, or else that's against the law and we're going to throw you in prison, that just leads to people getting smarter. It doesn't lead to the problem going away, it leads to people getting smarter about how to avoid the problem. Actually, if you want to look into, like, total off-topic, if you guys ever wanted to look into, sorry, I was looking at something. If you guys ever wanted to, look into, like, Soviet-era Russian music, like Soviet era, like punk or whatever, then check out a channel called Bandsplaining. He has like several videos, just like long form documentary videos about music all over the world. There's he introduced me to a band called, I think the band is called Africa. Or no, the album is called Africa. I don't remember what the name... Amanaz, that's it. There's a band called Amanaz, and it kind of introduced me to them and just an entire Zam rock scene. That is, like, rock music that was popular and really only famous in Zambia in like the 1970s, and it kind of had like a sort of mix of like traditional African music and like kind of like British colonized sound too, like a lot of like Hendrix, Rolling Stones, Beatles. It kind of had, like, that sort of Western influence, too. It's a very unique sound. Usandama is an experimental talk band from the Czech Republic. Used to listen to Frank Zappa, whose music was banned by the communists. Isn't that a... communism... I mean... Communism is left-wing, but authoritarianism isn't necessarily left-wing. Like, that's a thing, is, like... We try to... There's a lot of people who kind of try to, like... Some people's ideologies on a spectrum... People are more complex than that. Communism, Marx was not inherently a leftist, because, like, communism as an economic policy is more left-leaning, but authoritarianism, which goes hand in hand with communism a lot of time, is if you look at the political spectrum, a more right-wing, uh, right-wing ideology, because it promotes stronger government as opposed to, or it promotes a more strong federal government that controls its people as opposed to sort of kind of limiting, at least communism in its quote-unquote purest idealist form, which is that everybody is on a more equal playing field. Obviously, that's not practical in the real world, but that's the idealist form of something like communism, or even to a degree socialism. Ah, okay. That's how. The ironic part is that most of them are rich and privileged. Yeah. True. Zambia's... Yes! I think... Produced the catchy... Is this the same... Yeah, okay, you found the video. Yeah, this is it. Bandsplaining. Check out this guy's channel. He has a bunch of videos. There's like an entire 3-part scene of the underground punk scene in Soviet-era Russia. Czech Republic hates Russia, but Slovakia loves Russia. I mean... I don't know, actually. Is that true still? I don't know if, I haven't heard, actually, much of, Slovakia. I don't know what, who they're aligning themselves with, especially now that Russia's invading the Ukraine. Belarus is definitely the biggest cheerleader of, Russia. Lukashenko is a huge dictator. Imagine Nagiism. It's Nazism, but you worship Nagi. I mean, so yeah, isn't that just Nazism then? Yeah, you watched it, but... Yeah. His entire channel is full of... Even, like, disregarding, like, world music, there's a video on there that I always thought was really interesting about, what was... I don't remember what the name of the festival was, but it was, considered to be the worst ever rock festival in history. And if you watch it, you might agree. Like, there's, like, Woodstock 99, which had a lot of similar issues, but I would say this is worse. There's a video about a Japanese punk band that, like, hijacked a plane and then went into seclusion for decades. And still and most of them still haven't fully gone out of seclusion, and and honestly may very well be dead, but we don't know. Fire Festival? That might be it. Oh, you meant the current Slovak government put Russia on... The current Slovak government put Russia on terrorist list, but that could be removed because the opposition party is more Russia friendly. Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much just how it works. It's just like communists are either people who don't know any better or people who do know better and just know how to grift people. I wonder if I can kill them with the missiles. Okay. Got me some health. So I'm happy about that. Fuck, how did I do this the last time? Oh, that's... Okay, now I remember. I see, so... Is how international corporate pop culture has been replacing local culture. I don't know if I would consider that a problem. I think if anything, it's sort of like everybody's influenced by everybody. I don't see a problem with that. Like, I'm influenced by LCX. That's technically foreign culture. And he's, whatever, influenced by me. Again, technically foreign culture. I don't think that's a problem. I just want to see... what is in these areas. Okay, so this... I feel like there should be something hidden there, but I can't see it. They wouldn't just have a room that does absolutely nothing, right? Let's just go, let's just go down here then. save point! Progress. Progress has officially been logged. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just the way the industry goes then. People would rather pay for something they're familiar with than... I don't know. It's just sort of, I guess how the market goes. I'm so glad I did that save point. They've been Menards in... Oh, no, wait, no. You're not the one who lives in Kentucky. That's right. I know of Menards. I only know of Menards from, like, people in the Midwest who've talked about Menards. We don't have that here. I know of Menards from just, like, the really cheesy, like, ads they had when they were just, like, a small, like, mom-and-pop department store in Wisconsin or wherever. Okay, I can't go in the water then.
Another save point.
Alright. Energy capacity is increased. Fuck yes. University professor doesn't know students' gender. Ah, okay. Monolocus end up writing the. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I need to find whatever power-up allows me to get there, and then I think there's another boss soon. Great White North, how are you, man? Now to share... I already shared this in your Discord, by the way. If that's, okay with you. I've been getting into that habit, like sharing it into your guys' Discord. I guess I probably should have should be asking permission to do it, but I imagine, like, if anybody had an issue, they'd just say so. King of the North! Okay, I can't go back then, so it has to be something in this area. Oh, shit, okay. Alright, boss time. Oh, I have to hit it at the bottom. Yep. Fuck, did I just soft lock the game? Oh. Never mind. I keep feeling one of these days like I'm just gonna like soft lock a game and do something really impressive. One thing I will say about the bosses is that they are, so far, have been pretty easy. Like, I've died a couple of times, but, like, these are not, like, even, like, the bosses in the other Metroid games, I'm pretty sure were harder than this. I guess, because, like, I mean, to be fair, I guess it is more focusing on... It is more focusing on, like, exploration than, like, the actual combat, but still. But even then, again, like, this game is more linear, so I don't know. I just, like, if I were to complain about something, it's like, the bosses, I kind of wish maybe were... Well, then maybe, like, the later bosses will be more of a challenge. More is there to this boss? Is it gonna, like, go into a second form at some point? Because, like, this boss isn't challenging, it's just tedious. Unless I'm, like, just doing the wrong thing. Oh, you just followed Jack Riot's channel. Cool. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Oh man, Tyler's in chat, man. Okay. Just finished your show. Okay, cool, man. Thanks. Thanks for the support. Rockets? Oh, that might be it then, yeah. Yeah, it's not dip. That's not really good. Oh wait. Oh, I think I see what it is. I think you have to like use the bombs. Okay, I see what you have to do now. No. I think that's what it's... I think that's what you're meant to do then. Okay, I still think that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, yeah, Jack Riot usually does like a lot of guitar covers. Actually, the most recent ones I've actually been doing vocals on, so if you want to hear that, check that out. I've heard people suggest I do a karaoke stream. That might be the closest you're gonna get to that. By the way, Tyler, if you're still there, have you had the chance to play Metroid on Switch yet? Any thoughts? Yeah, that's not really doing any damage either. Okay, so that does hurt you. Never mind. I have no idea then. Oh, you didn't bring the Switch with you. Okay. Yeah, she needs to play her Persona. Even though she already has it on another system. Can you even see if the enemies... No. Persona! I'm still pissed they didn't say... He said Bear-sona in Persona 4. I'm still pissed about that. Like, Persona was right there. It didn't even have, like, those connotations back then. Like, the furry community back then was just Chris-chan. And, like, a bunch of Sonic recolors who, like, use Speakonia. Anybody remember when, like, that was the thing to do? Was, like, these, like, people would use, like, a program to, like, recolor their own Sonic OC? And they would use this program called Speakonia, which sounded like shit. So, like, everybody sounded like Stephen Hawking. Okay, yeah. When it hovers above you, you have to fire rockets straight up at its eye or something. Shoot it with rockets underneath. Yeah, I do that, and it doesn't, Okay, I'll try. I will try one more time, but like I've been shooting rockets at it, and it's not hitting it. See, it's not hitting it. Oh, fuck! Okay, so, never mind. I did get it, I think. Okay, so it only works for like... I don't even know how the timing works on that. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, so it's... So I have to be centered. Okay. Yeah, it's just a matter of execution, I think, at this point. I think I know what to do.